What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Eclectic Beard Reactions. This go around, we got 17 biggest derbies in English football. Now, this is something that was requested in the comments section, so we're going to take a look at it. Before we go any further, like, subscribe, notification bell. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Just listen to this reception. And what a game. Nothing stirs the blood like a local derby.
Football derby matches in the United Kingdom are often heated affairs, and violence is not uncommon. However, the matches and the rivalries they encompass are frequently among the best in the sport. Okay, cool.
Limito na telepono.
They brought back dreadful memories. They're hoping these pictures will help bring the culprits to justice.
Police began to use batons to restrain fans.
They come on Millwall's ground, they smash their pubs up, so then it's a victory.
Now, over here, it's mostly after college games. Some after NFL, but mostly after college football games, you do see bar fights and stuff like that. There's been shootings and everything that have happened as well. Normally, alcohol is involved in those. You don't normally see that. I'll say this, after taking and watching, after watching football, the European football, like what we call soccer over here, what we're watching now, the level of emotional intensity that runs through while you're watching a game, as opposed to watching like a college football game or like an NFL game, like we've all got. Watching the NFL or college football, you get the sense of, you get that sense of anticipation if your team's making a comeback, or if they've just taken a lead and it's late in the game and stuff like that. You get that sense of anticipation. Like I scream at the TV. I like hoot and holler, stomp, scream at the TV if Alabama is just. They let some guy take a run 45 yards down the field and they're not tackling. Tackle that mother! I'm screaming at the TV, stomping, pissed off. Like I can kind of, that or the sense of abject failure whenever your team is beaten in a close game, or if they're beaten by a team that shouldn't win. But that sense of, because of the way the scoring is done in football over there, or what we call soccer, European football, what we call soccer over here, because of that, because of the fact that you can spend over half the match at the other team's side, but if you don't score a goal and they take and get over to your side and they score a goal and that's the only goal that's scored, well, you're screwed. And it doesn't matter how many times you take and make an attempt on a goal or something, shots on goal or anything like that. The intensity that whole time, it just like that feeling of digging your nails into the sofa or being on the edge of your seat because it's that intense of a game and it's that close, or you're trying, well, not so much that close, but you're, almost trying to self-will your team to get a goal in. much different. Much different. So I could see how maybe tension, emotions running high, after a game could lead to some dispute after some trash talking and stuff like that. But the level of violence and stuff that's happened over there due to football games is something that I'm still, it's kind of interesting to see, to be honest with you. Yeah, if we have police at games, it's normally to take and make sure, direct traffic or make sure the coaches and the players get off the field okay. But normally it's like 2 state troopers and like security around the things to make sure if we get a streaker or something like that, or somebody tries to rush the field, well, they're taken down because, people around here are crazy and like I said, they like to streak and stuff like that. You don't normally have them on the outside trying to take and stop them from fighting each other. That's normally sorted out at the bar after the fight has happened.
Rivalries spilled over onto the streets with frightening results.
Everton. Ooh.
Across! He won't just ping it across, he'll smash it into the net!
I love how it's showing not only, I love how there's violence that's been shown, but also a lot of the chanting and the craziness of the crowds. Like it's trying to take and give a more full picture of the, respective derbies than just, bar fights and stuff like that. Even though it made sure to take and mention that there's violence involved, but, in many cases or whatever. But I love the fact that this video is actually showing the overall play between the teams, the fans and the crowd, and a little bit of police involvement or fans getting a little bit overzealous. Oh! Push him down, run him over, tackle him.
But the Sheffield referee keeps...
Seems like these
Looks like an intense as hell rivalry.
will horrify any football. Bradford City and Swindon finances are yet to sign off the ground. Police are hoping these pictures will help bring the culprits to justice.
On in 5 years they've met. Some history of disorder, although that was some time ago now.
I love how it starts out with some history of disorder. There's been some shenanigans in the past. People have been locking up fighting.
And it's about having the right people, the right skills, putting them in the right place at the right time.
fella just swinging wildly. I'm gonna say this too, like watching football over there, or watching Premier League games like Liverpool taking play, as opposed to watching like the MLS league over here, Major League Soccer over here. I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna throw this out there. The level of skill over there, world class, and you can tell. You know, they're like really, they're top-notch players. Here, MLS, yeah, it's more along the lines of some like really talented rec league dudes. That's kind of what it's like watching these games. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Oh, damn. See, that's something to see when the teams and the fans are both willing to fight each other. There's some intensity there. Just saying, they don't like each other. Man City versus Man U. Okay. Which didn't Ronaldo just take and sign with one of those again? What, Man U? He just re-signed with one of them from yeah, so how y'all feel about that? With one in Derby, okay.
Stripped it away from Carr. Henry!
Like, some of the footage in this is just absolutely stunning. Like, it's crazy to see. It's what you call passionate fan bases. That's all I can say. Passionate fan bases. That's, man. Man U versus Liverpool.
And the first United train arrives at Edge Hill Station. Edge Hill, 3 miles from Anfield, is further away. 5 minutes before kick-off, fighting near the United end.
I love how there's always a line of cops and like 500 people or 3,000 people behind them. Like at that point, it's basically herding cats. You're not gonna really. If they want to go somewhere, you're kind of SOL. Like all they can do is try to divert a little bit. If the fans really wanted to take and push the issue with that many on either side, not a whole lot they can do. I mean, you'd have to bring in the riot gear. Yeah, like if either side decided to rush each other, like the cops in the middle would be they'd be screwed. There's no two ways about it. The only people who would stand a chance of the horses, because once people got to the back end of the horses, they got too close before starting to go around, they're going to get kicked in the face, and it's going to reach about 2 or 3 people back probably. The person's going to be flung into, so they'll have a berth there.
Saunders gave this torrid affair a sour ending.
Oh, Jesus. It's crazy seeing the different clips with the fans rushing the field, and it just causing absolute bedlam.
With a history of bitter rivalry between their supporters.
To find a way through. Trotter looks for a way through and has found one. It's the equaliser for Millwall. And Cole. Taylor.
It's having to intervene as rival fans provoked each other. Play was stopped on several occasions after fans invaded the pitch.
The next pub up, going in an orderly direction, has been attacked by West Ham supporters. That is what it's called, West Ham taking liberties at Millwall. Absolutely.
That is so loud.
In one of the most fiercely contested league derbies in English football. Nelly ball in, he looked for Henry instead. It's Australia!
Oh, Lordy. You would think with professional athletes, you stuff wouldn't take and kind of spill over onto the pitch. But then again, I mean, if it's a rivalry, bad blood and stuff like that, all it takes is one minor insignificant thing that happened to really boil in, make a mountain out of a molehill, basically. And it seems, for something to be, as I said at the beginning of this clip, highly contested series, and it just for there to be that kind of a rivalry, and take and have not only the fans but also the players go at each other. That's a level of competitiveness and pride in whichever side that you're playing for that really it's something to see. It really is.
Intervene very quickly and off.
Oh, dang. absolute bedlam. Oh my goodness. Norwich versus Ipswich. Port Vale versus Stoke. Bury Rochdale. Bradford City versus Huddersfield. Quite a few. So there's quite a few rivalries, to say the least. It's interesting learning more about stuff like this as far as football is concerned. Just it's so interesting because we've got rivalries here. Like college football, you got bigger rivalries in college football than you do in the pro sports here. Even like college basketball, there's college football here. You got Alabama versus Auburn. You've got Michigan versus Ohio. You've got Notre Dame versus whoever they decide is a rival, basically. I say that. Notre Dame versus USC. In like college basketball, you've got Duke versus North Carolina. You got stuff like that. In pro sports, you do have rivalries, but they're not to this level. Like I've said it before, I know people who have stopped talking to their family because they married somebody who roots for the opposing team. So I know Alabama fans who don't talk to family because either they switch loyalties to Auburn or they married an Auburn fan. I know that happening. I know of that happening. Like, it's crazy. We had a fan taking poison the oak trees there on Auburn's campus, and they were thousands of years old. So I mean, but like the violence is normally a bar fight here, a bar fight there. Somebody got too drunk and they're arguing with their brother or their cousin or their next door neighbor over the game. They get shot. Like, but you don't have that wide scale like police having to take and form the line like that or anything. So that level of rivalry we don't really see. We see it in other crazy ways. So yeah, y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.